Hello, dear viewers. Welcome once again to my new lecture. Today, my lecture topic is privatization. In this lecture, first I'll define the term privatization and I'll discuss different types of privatization along with different reasons for privatization. I'll also show you the impacts of privatization on different economic agents like consumers, producers, workers, and the government. Now, let me show you the detail of today's lecture. All right, privatization. Transfer of government services or assets to the private sector is called privatization. Privatization describes the process by which a piece of property or business goes from being owned by the government to being privately owned. Privatization occurs when a government-owned business operation or property becomes owned by a private or non-government party. In other words, the transfer of ownership, property, or business from the government to the private sector is termed privatization. The government ceases to be the owner of the entity or business during the privatization. The process in which a publicly traded company is taken over by a few people is also called privatization. So these are different definitions of privatization. Now we can give examples of privatization. In 1987, British Airways, Rolls-Royce, Leyland Bus, Leyland Truck, British Airways Authority were privatized. That means ownership of these organizations transferred to the private sector from the government sector. It was argued that these organizations would be more efficient if they were operated without government interference. So in this case, the main reason of privatization is the government interference. Now let me discuss, let me explain you forms of privatization. Privatization can take a number of forms such as sale of nationalized industry, contracting out, sale of land and property. At first, sale of nationalized industry. Nationalized industries are public corporations previously were in the private sector that were taken into state ownership. So these are called the nationalized industries. After years of state control, the government may sell them to the private sector businesses owned by private shareholders. This is privatization. That means in this case, at first the government acquired the private sector businesses, then they are known as nationalized industry. Then the government sells them again, which is called privatization. Example you can give here. British Airways and British Rail were once private sector businesses. The British government nationalized them, but during 1980s and 1990s, the government sold off them to the private sector again. Contracting out. Many government and local authority services have been contracted out to the private businesses. This is where private sector contractors are given a chance to bid for services previously supplied by the public sector. Examples include the provision of school meals, hospital cleaning and refuse collection, construction of new infrastructure, etc. So in this case, the government authority does not do the work. For the government, private businesses do the work. So this is called the contracting out. And this is also known as privatization. Next is sale of land and property. This is very simple. In this form of privatization, the government sells the state-owned land and property to individuals or private businesses. Thus, the ownership transfers from the private sector to the from the public sector to the private sector. Example: during 1980s, about 1.5 million local council-owned houses were sold to the private individuals in the UK. Now the reasons for privatization. Since 1980s, some governments around the world have transferred public sector resources to the private sector. Especially in Eastern Europe, privatization was the result of the political and economic changes that took place after the breakup of Soviet Union. Different reasons have been put forward for privatization by the economists, such as to generate income, to increase efficiency, and to reduce political interference. Now, let me explain at first the to generate income. When the country is in serious financial crisis or under extremely large debts, the government of the country starts selling state-owned properties to generate government income in order to pay back the loan or meet the financial demand. Example, in 2015, governments around the world generated income of 213,400 million US dollar by selling state assets. And after the financial crisis in 2008, the Greek government had acquired extremely large debts. To help deal with debts, Greece had to sell a few of state-owned airports to the private sector organization Fraport. Next is to increase efficiency. Nationalized industries are usually lacked the incentive of making profit. They do not aim to maximize profit. This leads to inefficiency in production. It was argued that in the private sector, they would have to cut costs in order to maximize profits by ensuring efficiency. As public sector organizations are blamed inefficient, they need to be privatized in order to increase efficiency. We can give example here. Mexico's aggressive efforts to reduce the size and operating cost of the public sector organizations have resulted in proceeds of 2.4 billion US dollar. Next is to reduce political interference. Sometimes nationalized industries become unstable due to the constant interference of the ruling party for their political aims. These interferences lead to poor performance of these organizations. In that case, if they are transferred to the private sector, these organizations would be free to take decisions about investment levels, prices, product ranges, and growth rates. Example, in 2016, India decided to sell off controlling stakes of some large state-run companies such as Container Corporation of India, Bharat Earth Movers, Cement Corporation of India to reduce political interference. Now the effects of privatization on consumers. It is expected that consumers will get benefits from privatization. Once in the private sector, businesses are under pressure to meet consumer needs and maximize profit. This should mean that firms will be more efficient. As a result, firms will be able to charge lower price and better quality. We can give example here. In UK, due to the privatization, the telecommunication industry, the waiting time for a new BT telephone line fallen from around 6 months to just 15 days. In contrast, in most of the cases, after privatization, businesses start exploiting the consumers by charging higher prices to maximize their profits. They also reduce supply to create shortage in the market, which reduces consumer choices. We can give example here. Since the privatization of the rail industry in the UK, price of the monthly season pass tickets from Chelmsford to London raised to £357.9, but for the same distance, it would cost just £37 in Italy and £56 in Spain. So it is clear that here, privatization increases the price of the product or service. Now the effects of privatization on workers. Quite often, in the run up to the privatization and after an organization has been privatized, a large number of workers are made redundant. This is because the organizations in the private sector may reduce costs in order to maximize profits. That means privatization causes job losses for the workers. So you can give an example here. Due to the privatization in the UK, more than 200,000 jobs are lost in coal industry and 20,000 to 30,000 jobs are lost in rail, maritime and transport industries due to the privatization. In addition to job losses and in an effort to improve efficiency, many workers may have been pressed into raising their productivity. However, Privatization helps to increase the productivity of the existing workers. They might have been forced to adopt more flexible working practices or will be trained up with updated tools and technology. Due to the financial and non-financial motivations as well as proper guidance and training, workers in the privatized firms become more skilled and competitive. Now the effects of privatization on the businesses. Due to the absence of government interference and the presence of competitions, privatized firms may be affected in the following ways. First, objective of the firms change. Profit maximization becomes the main important aim of the firms. Secondly, many firms increase investment in different areas of business following the privatization. Thirdly, a number of newly privatized firms merge with each other and some are taken over by other firms. Lastly, many privatized firms diversify into new areas with new businesses and new business ideas. So these are the impacts on privatization on the businesses. The main argument for privatization is that private companies have a profit incentive to cut cost and be more efficient. A private firm is interested in making a profit, and so it is more likely to cut cost and be efficient. Example we can give here. Since privatization, companies such as British Telecom and British Airways have shown degrees of improved efficiency and higher profitability. Now the impacts or effects of privatization on the government. One way in which government may benefit is the huge amount of revenue that could be generated by privatizing state-owned assets. It may make the government financially solvent and will allow spending more and repaying the loans. However, due to the privatization, the government will lose control on the privatized industries. In most of the cases, the government sells off nationalized industries very cheaply, which does not help to generate enough income for the government. Lastly, sometimes privatization increases cost of the government when money is spent on television advertising for selling off state properties. Okay, so this is all about the privatization. I hope this lecture will help you a lot to understand and make a clear idea about the privatization. So thank you very much once again.